Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another deck profile. This time we're going to be looking at ghosts. And before we begin, I want to let you know that I don't really like purple. I think purple's a little bit of an obnoxious deck color, but ghost doesn't feel so bad. And my friend Onion, who is a regional champion, says he's gonna run it. So I definitely want to test against it. So I built it, and I'm kind of playing it. And honestly, not that bad. Not that bad for purple. So let's get into the deck. We are starting with 4 Demi-Meramon eggs, which on deletion, they return a Digimon card with Ghost from your trash to your hand. You definitely want to have those ghosts available to you. This whole deck is going to be about bringing ghosts out for free sometimes for you're going to get memory back when deleting your own ghost. That type of thing is going to be happening with this type of deck, which is a purple staple, I suppose. I run 4 of the Candlemon with Retaliation. He's kind of a little guy that can take out big Digimon who are suspended with their retaliation situation. You also get to pull off some on deletion things, like a baby if it's under it. But the retaliation is really nice. Then if you Digivolve it on deletion by trashing 1 card in your hand, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. So you could potentially take out a couple of Digimon with this Candlemon. That's really strong. Clearing out a board with little guys like this is such a huge thing to do. So I can see why Ghost has that big appeal. Remember that Candlemon also counts as a Ghost type. That is going to be relevant. Next, we run 4 of the new BT20 Ghostmon. This guy actually does a lot. It may not appear to, but it's a big key for the deck. On play, it reveals the top 3 cards of your deck and adds 1 Ghost and 1 with Liberator. There are several cards that are both, so you may be able to pick up multiple cards multiple times with this Ghost. Right? Then it also has an inheritable of the on deletion gain 1 memory. So if you Digivolve into your level 4s, on top of this type of Ghostmon, you're going to get some memory back with that, which is really nice. Sometimes it's going to let you keep turns, especially in combination with the other cards that we'll look at in just a second. I run 1 Gabumon just because I need more purple rookies. Gaining the 1 memory could be key. And then if you Digivolve when attacking, draw 1, trash 1. If you're looking for a piece that you might be missing, of course, that's pretty good as well. I run 2 Psychmons. This is a bit of a meta call for me personally. A lot of people around me are running Blue Flare and Cross Hearts, that type of thing. Your play cost reduction situation is not good, especially Death X, that type of thing. Psychmon's a good counter to that. I really like Psychmon in this deck. This could be a spot for your meta calls, however, but this happens to be mine. Psychmon works really well against many of the decks that I have to play against. Next, 4 of the Bakemon. This is the BT20 version. When Digivolving, if you have 1 or fewer Tamers, you may play a Violet in Boots from your hand without paying the cost. So getting that Tamer out for free is really nice, especially when you're Digivolving for 2. And you'll notice that there's also an on deletion gain 1 memory situation. So this Bakemon is going to be doing some things for you. We'll talk about it in just a little bit. Next, we run 3 of the BT15 Bakemon. It's a little bit older. Not that much older, though. When Digivolving or on deletion, you get to draw 1, then trash a card in your hand. So again, you're looking for those pieces that you might want, and trashing maybe things that you would rather have in your trash. That's what this card is going to let you do. In addition to that, you do have an inheritable retaliation, which could be key, but, that's situational, really. Next, we have 3 of our guy Soulmon. Soulmon, on play and we're Digivolving, one of your Digimon gains retaliation to the end of your turn. So again, we have retaliation taking place. You should not be afraid to get these guys retaliating against your opponent. You could bring them back. There are ways to bring them back. So don't be afraid. And remember, if this guy's like on top of your Ghostmon, for example, you gain the 1 memory. This guy, however, has on deletion by trashing 1 card in your hand. Delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower. So you are clearing board. These guys are retaliating. They are Digivolving into level 5s and taking out guys left and right, just executing them. And speaking of execute, Phantomon. We run 4 of this guy, BT20's Phantomon, with a new keyword called execute. This keyword is at the end of your turn, this Digimon may attack. At the end of the attack, delete this Digimon. And your opponent's unsuspended Digimon can also be attacked with this effect. It's pretty nice. Execute's actually going to be a big key word for this deck, especially the fact that you can attack at the end of your turn. it does delete your Digimon, but there might be some good stuff happening when you delete your Digimon. For example, on deletion, gain memory. If you do have both Ghostmon and this Bakemon, for example, that's 2 memory, potentially stealing back the turn from your opponent at the end of the turn with the execute. Really solid ability that you can take advantage of here. It itself, of course, has an on deletion. You may play 1 level 4 or lower Digimon card with the Ghost from your trash, sorry. And that also can come into play, especially with the execute. So the execute will let you attack. It will delete you. You'll get to play at level 4 and get any inheritable abilities that are under it. Very good situation to be in if you're a Phantomon. So you can trigger that execute at the end of your turn. Please remember that. Next, 3 Metal Phantomon. So these guys digivolve for 1 from your Phantomon. And then, of course, it has blocker. And then it has on play or when digivolving, but deleting one of your Digimon. Delete one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon. Again, you're clearing board. You're digivolving for 1 in this situation. And it also has an inheritable on deletion, de-digivolve 1 on your opponent's Digimon. Pretty good situation here is to, again, be deleting yourself as well as deleting your opponent trying to clear your board. So it's about trying to keep your opponent from doing things or deleting it as it happens. Your opponent's definitely going to be on the back heel with all this deletion you're doing. But here's the thing. Sometimes when you do bring back Digimon, such as Phantomon's ability and others that we'll look at later, you're going to end up with some level 4s on the board, and you may not be able to do much with them because they do not have rush. There's a couple of ways to do it. One of them that I deal with is using 1 level 5 Chimeramon, fusing my level 4 Ghosts into a guy that can attack right away. Sometimes this can punch for game. I just really like it here in this set. But if you use something different, let me know. Again, I'm not a purple playing guy, so if you have suggestions about what you could do, or if I'm missing any play situations, please let me know in the comments. But let's talk about Big Daddy, Necromon. Necromon is your big boss monster for this deck, BT20's new card. That is also a ghost type. It has security check +1 and execute, which we talked about already. It also has an on play or when digivolving, Digimon with the lowest level, you get deleted. Well, one of them. And then on play or on deletion, you may play 1 level 5 or lower Digimon card with the ghost trait from the trash without paying the cost. So that can be any of your ghosts that you have up here if Necromon is getting deleted, which it could be because remember, you get that execute, which deletes yourself, but you also get a check if you check in security with that execute and you get deleted. You get to trigger that. And then any inheritables under, you also get to pull that off. Very nice boss monster to have with this deck set. I also run 2 Reapermons. It does count as a ghost, and it has collision as well as blocker. And then all turns, when an effect digivolves your opponent's Digimon, de-digivolve 1 of your opponent's Digimon. That could be really nice against aces, for example, and keeping your opponent from doing many things that you normally wouldn't want them to do. De-digivolving is kind of hard to deal with if Reapermon's out there. And then, of course, on deletion, delete one of your opponent's play cost 4 or lower Digimon. Or Tamers. I want to point that out, that you can delete a 4-cost Tamer, which is more than likely the situation you'll do with Reapermon, is delete a Tamer on the board. And speaking of Tamers, I run 4 Violet in Boots from BT20. This is the start of your main phase. If your opponent has a Digimon, which, of course, with Ghost, you want your opponent to have Digimon out, you gain 1 memory. In addition to that, on your turn, when any of your ghost trait Digimon are deleted, by suspending this Tamer, one of your Digimon may digivolve into something with ghost trait, and then you reduce that by 2. So, if you are getting executed at the end of the turn, that is getting something deleted, you can digivolve another Digimon that you have, or if you brought one back using an effect, for example, Phantomon's on deletion, and digivolve that right away into something reduced by 2. Super nice combo to pull off. I'm sure I'm missing more stuff to that, but that's been something that I appreciate from this deck, is that you can pull off a kind of a nice chain combo with that. Here's another one. We run 1 Violet in Boots. This is BT18's version. It is a memory setter. And in addition to that, at the start of your main phase, you may trash an option or a Digimon Ghost to draw 1. I don't believe we run 3 Musketeers in this set, so we are going to be just trashing Ghost if we need to with this draw 1 Violet. Only run 1. It's nothing crazy. But one that you may want to have, potentially even 4 of if you need to. But I'm running 3. Analog use. The fact that you delete and you have some level 5 deletion going on over here, it means that Analog Youth can steal back turn, and you can also get an egg hatching and, of course, gain that that search that revealed 3 and put some things in your trash. Analog Youth works really well in this deck. And I would not be surprised if people start realizing that Analog Youth is going to be selling a lot because it does a lot for this deck. And people are going to be wanting to run this deck. That's for sure. Purple never dies. I run 3 wisdom trainings. Just got to get Digivolving easier. If you get some level 3s out, you can get them up to level 4. Or get your level 4s to level 5 for a little bit cheaper. You're searching for pieces. Wisdom training just works really well with the ghost situation here. 2 purple scrambles. If you're not familiar, one of your purple Digimon may Digivolve into a purple Digimon with their cost reduced by 3. And then you can place this card in the battle area. If your opponent has a Digimon, you get to delay. Just a sec. Delay. Sorry, if your opponent has a Digimon, you get to delay. Return 1 purple Digimon card from your trash to the top of your deck, and then if you don't have a Digimon, you may play a purple Digimon with 2000 DP or less. I mean, you can put that Ghostmon back out there, maybe that Candlemon back out there. Purple Scramble, doing some work with this deck by doing multiple things that it wants to do. And last but not least, Apparition Legion. Now, I gotta confess, I didn't really know what it does, but then I realized this card just can kind of end the game for you. So what it does is that by returning up to 9 levels total worth of your Digimon, by returning up to 9 levels total worth of Digimon cards from your opponent's trash to the bottom of the deck, you may play a ghost Digimon for each return card level from your trash without paying the cost. So again, you need to have your cards in the trash, and then for each returned cards level, so like there's a level 3, that's a level, level 4, that's a level, level 5, that's a level. For each level that you return, you get to play a ghost. So you could put up, if you have 3, if you see that there's a 3, 4, 5, 6, for example, your opponent's trash, that's 4 Digimon, you can bring out 4 with this guy. All of those cards would gain Rush, all of those cards would gain Blocker, and guess what? If this does cost 8, but here's the thing. Your cards have gained Rush. Let's imagine you brought back your Phantomon. Phantomon was played. It gains Rush, and guess what? It has Execute. It can attack, potentially for game, if you have multiples of it, for example, right? So you have multiple cards with Execute out there. You can manage to get some Phantomons and some Necromons. They all come out. They can execute, finish off your opponent. And if something goes wrong, well, they do get Blocker as well. So you can block if, your opponent pulls off some sort of ace, some sort of thing up their sleeve. You still get to have a little bit of a defensive retaliation with the Apparition Legion. But its whole point, I feel, is to end your opponent there and then by bringing out an army that can execute right away. Big card for this set, for this deck. Definitely want to use it. But I only run 2. Some people run more. I think 2 is good. Well, let me know what you think of the deck. You probably know it better than I do if you're a purple player. Again, I don't play purple a lot, but this has been a fun deck, honestly. I definitely appreciate it. I really like it. Make sure you subscribe and like, and I'll see you in the next video. We got more coming. Peace.